Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with all of you. And I'm going to go ahead and throw the Baer Cave, the Lego, the scythe, and the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use my emotes. You can use other people's emotes. If you just want to be a lurker, you could also do that. Lashbrook is here. Ghost Fav is here. Hello to both of you. Did my camera get tilted somehow? I'm not. What? Hey, Lord Crashington. Hey, Aristophan. Hey, Arctic Sloth. We got a great crew here. Hey, yeah, this doesn't feel level. And I don't know how that happened. You're just askew tonight. Yeah, my twisted, skewed take on the world. What? It's like, that, I don't know why that's happening. That definitely it's not the house, Lashbrook. It's not the table, because the table is level. Should be level, and it's a folding table, and it's not even there's what the what if I do this? What if I do that? All right, that's better. It's not good, but it's better. Y'all, I don't know what the fuck happened. We're gonna go with that for tonight anyway. Hi. That was a weird way to start the stream, but we're not gonna redo it because I don't want to live a lie. I'm Pat Baer. I build model kits and talk about shit. That's all this is. This is a 2-hour stream of conversation, rantings and ravings, and model kit building. The house is sinking, like in that Simpsons episode. No, Lord Crashington, please, no, don't put that out there. Most likely, my webcam just needs adjustment on the pole that it's clamped to, and I don't want to do that now because I'd have to stand up to lean far enough. I can barely reach it by stretching out, and I don't want to do anything more than that. So we're just going to deal with it for tonight, and it's going to be okay. Boy, I know there are more than three of you watching right now, so I would love it if it didn't say, oh, now it says 4. It's one of those where I'm like, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you have said words. So, okay, now I'm at 6 views. Great. Thanks, dashboard. Anyway, hey, I got the Red Rider. It's right here. We're gonna work on that kit. I'm in a bit of a mood today, I would say. It's been an odd day. I'm not feeling 100%. My allergies are kind of whooping my butt. As a surprise, my neighbor, who is good friends with my parents, is a woodworker, wanted to come over and put in a bird feeder because he's been building some bird feeders. Because he's retired and needs to justify all the tools that he has purchased. So he made a bird feeder. And I was like, sure. So I have bird seed. Put bird seed in the bird feeder. No problem. We already have a bird feeder. Sure, we can have 2. No problem. This one's made of wood. There's a couple birds that don't like this new bird feeder. They seem to hate it. Or they want to peck through it. Because instead of just going for the birdseed, they're just pecking at it with their beaks. I don't think it's a woodpecker because it's red. And I don't think woodpeckers are red like that. Because I think it's a cardinal. But there's a cardinal that fucking hates this thing. And I kept opening the door to the backyard and stepping out there so that the bird would fly away. And so it's cold also and rainy. And so I didn't want to go outside, but I had to. Anyway, that's been part of my day. I did cook, I did make au gratin potatoes because I was just like, I just want comfort food. Like I think on Saturday I'm going to make mac and cheese, like Kraft mac and cheese. But I was like, I just want like some kind of comfort food. I think that's just like the way to go here. Like I just want to make au gratin potatoes and I'll have them like tomorrow for dinner too. And that'll be great. But yeah, I baked, we'll look at that in a second. I baked, pork chops in like so much barbecue sauce, like very sweet honey barbecue sauce. And had that and a salad and au gratin potatoes today. And I just wanted something like heavy. Like I ate too much pork. Like it was one of those things where like the pork chops were like, just small enough that I wanted more than one. But 2 was too many. You know what I mean? I finished it. Anyway, Dirty says, I was a little overwhelmed by the amount of episodes I have left to catch up on One Piece. But then I learned that Days of Our Lives had over 14,000 episodes, and now OP backlog is not so overwhelming. That's very true, Dirty. I am reminded that in the Anime is Still a Vice Lord Crashing wants me to hit the dance button. I will. But just I want to say, the Anime is Still a Vice channel in the Discord for Jeff Gerstmann. Someone was just like, should I get into One Piece? And I was like, well, there's over 1,000 chapters or episodes. And he was just like, oh, never mind. It's like, yeah. New month, new song, indeed. Last we're throwing the most in there. We'd love to see that. Yes, here is the new song for February. Here's the new dance song. Thanks for using channel points. This song is very much, I have a montage in this YouTube video that I've made, and I want it to feel like it's the 2008, like it feels very 2008, 2009 montage for a YouTube video. I hope I conveyed that with that new dance song. Anyway, we got to get into model kit building. Ostensibly, that's why we're here. Hopefully, we're here for conversation and camaraderie and model kit building. But yeah, we gotta get into this. So here we go. Yeah, so I'll just say I've had a weird vibe of a day. Like the bird feeder thing was weird because like my neighbor called. He's good friends with my parents and was just like, hey, I made a bird feeder. I want to surprise your mom with it. And I was like, okay, sure. And he was like, great. Can I come over this afternoon? I was like, it's gonna rain, but yes. So he came over, and then all of a sudden, this cardinal fucking hated it. Just like, or here's the other thing, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this cardinal goddamn loves this thing. It's just like, holy shit. I can't wait to smack my beak into this. Like, the cardinal is just like psyched. I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm not a birdologist, okay? I don't know bird stuff. You know, don't sign me up for bird facts. But maybe I could use bird facts, you know what I mean? Anyway, I want to yell about a thing, so buckle the fuck up, everybody. It's time for Pat Baer to really stick it to those fat cats. Really, like, say, tell it like it is, and really, like, show people what for, and eviscerate them with my comedic anger. Really tear him a new one. Yes, Burbs with Baer, indeed. Okay, so, starting on February 9th, so no time from now at all, very little time from now, Twitter will no longer support free access to the Twitter API, both version 2 and version 1.1. A paid basic tier will be available instead. So, if you, to make Twitter somewhat usable, use some services to schedule tweets, if you use a API, a service to delete tweets, if you have a thing where you logged in that will just like go in and delete your tweets after a certain amount of time has passed, so you don't have to manually do it, it just does it for you. If you have ever in your life enjoyed some sort of automated bot that like posts like a picture of every hour or every day, a picture of a possum or some shit. You don't get to do that anymore. More warning than some of the changes, honestly. Yes, Lashberg, it's not retroactive. It didn't just happen, and they didn't just like cut actions off. Perhaps they, quote-unquote, learned something. But it is indeed the end of some cool shit about Twitter. As the user, Secret Goal says, when Elon said he was getting rid of bots on Twitter, he didn't mean the ones that DM you constantly about crypto scams. Those are fine and more prevalent than ever. My own personal experience says that is true. Of course, that's not, You know, I can't say for sure that that's everyone's experience, but that is my experience. That yes, I've been getting more of those. He meant he was getting rid of bots that tweet cute possum photos and stuff. And then yes, that is unfortunately what will be done. Oh no, is my hourly kitten and daily bodega cats will be going away. Yes, Dirty, because one would assume that those people are not going to pay the. I didn't quote the prices. Suffice to say, they are high. They are. My assumption is they are high enough so that companies won't bat an eye at it. But anyone that does this shit for the lulz will stop doing it for the lulz because they cannot afford to do it. And some of the functionality on some websites that use Twitter as a way to log in, that will end, because why would those sites do that? So if you've ever used a service via Twitter as your login, which I would say you probably shouldn't do that anyway, but certainly that was an easy way to not have to create credentials for a website. Instead, use Twitter instead of having to like go through the whole process. That's done. Possums every hour is going away. Yes, that is going away. Jav titles is going away. Which I'll tell you this: I don't follow any of those accounts, any of the bot accounts. I just never had an interest in doing that. But I know plenty of people that really like those things. The screenshots have been going around of their premium search API, not the regular one. Oh, okay. That said, Elon did tweet out that it would be $100 a month with ID verification. Yeah, so the numbers that went around were for a different thing. Okay, that's fine. But still, nobody makes money on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like nobody makes money by being on Twitter. Like they might make opportunities by being on Twitter. They might get word out about things by being on Twitter. But like nobody that runs these accounts makes enough money to justify $100. Like it's not reasonable or feasible or anything. And the only way it goes away is, are there nonsense right-wing accounts that like those things, that like the API services, that will complain? Because that is literally, and I use literally, the only way that this will change in any way, shape, or form, right? Is are garbage people going to complain at Elon enough? And I don't know if that's, I don't know. Because I don't follow bot accounts that they would like. I will say, one would imagine that this will reduce some bot usage on the site that is toxic and garbage and terrible, but perhaps those sites will pay the money. Those services, those bot account things will pay the money, perhaps. But like the fun ones won't, right? And yeah, if you use a scheduler or, like I said, a deleter, that kind of stuff, that's not gonna continue to work, which is frustrating and weird. It's just a lot of bullshit. I don't have anything like poignant to say about it. It sucks. It's just another nonsense thing that doesn't look, if someone did the math and said, this is costing us X number of dollars, great. I do think, in my opinion, that whatever it costs to have this API out there for free was not, that cost is not going to be appreciated. Like, they're not going to make money off of this change. It's not going to benefit them, is what I'm trying to say. It does just seem like a way to cut some costs, and legitimately feels like a way to make the site or the service worse. It just seems like it's just not. It's just, yeah. Again, my words aren't coming out as eloquently as I would like. It's just a bad move. Not everyone is going to pay money for the same way. All those people cut off their friends' Netflix accounts. Well, yes, exactly. Like I don't believe that every high-ranking Netflix executive actually believes that by making it more difficult or nay impossible for people to share Netflix passwords, that every single person who is now put out by that will get their own Netflix account. I do not believe that everyone thinks that, but I do believe that enough people at Netflix do think that. They do think that that not only will they not lose subscribers who go, well, I don't want this to be an issue, so I'm just, you know what? I've been thinking about getting rid of Netflix anyway. I'm not even going to make this a thing that could happen because I don't know everyone that has my password and I don't want to run into that issue. So I'm just going to get rid of this account, and then people will be like, hey, what happened to your Netflix? And that's all I'll find out. People, there must be enough people there that not only think that this won't negatively affect them, but think that will positively affect them. That this idea that we can save a bunch of money and make a bunch of money by making our customer base angry. Because a friend of mine occasionally, I'll say this occasionally, a friend of mine would be like, hey, you should check this thing out, and send me their user credentials for a streaming service, which I would use. And then one day, they were like, hey, actually, I'm cutting a lot of this out because I don't use a lot of these, right? And I was like, okay. And then I just stopped using that service because I wasn't interested in paying for it before it was offered to me. And I wasn't interested in paying for it once it was taken away from me. It just became a thing I don't use in my life. And here's the one thing that Netflix did that's actually interesting that might make people want to keep paying them, is that they start fucking with your recommendations once you, after a certain amount of time of closing your account. Because it used to be people be like, oh, there's a new hit show? Okay, I'm going to restart my Netflix account, watch this, and I'll catch up on some stuff that because Netflix algorithm is pretty good. It's like, hey, you like a lot of these martial arts films. Here's 3 more martial arts films that came out since you last looked in this category. And it's like, okay, cool. All right. Oh, hey, you watch a lot of French detective shows. Would you like some British detective shows? What about a Finnish detective show? We don't know. Maybe you like that. Oh, it turns out you would. But then they were like, we're going to take this away because people keep, just signing up for a month or two. And that actually, of all the things Netflix has done, is the one that gave me pause going, oh, they start deleting my recommendations. Maybe I need to keep paying for Netflix. But I was like, nah, I don't really use it that often. I get it now and again. I get it for a month at a time. I wait for things to come out, and then I'll get Netflix. I still haven't watched the second part 2 or the second season of Comey Can't Communicate. I still haven't seen it. I would like to, because I like Comey Can't Communicate part 1. But it hasn't been enough. There hasn't been enough on Netflix for me to go, all right, it's time to get Netflix for a month. But they're not going to remember, or they're going to choose to forget that I watched Comey Can't Communicate, and they're not going to recommend other anime of a romantic comedy nature to me. And it's going to be a little rough. But that was the thing that I was like, huh. Because I don't want to be an asshole about this. Because we've talked about piracy, and it has been brought to my clear and concise attention that I am wearing a bandana, much like a pirate. So me talking about piracy is funny, but like, hey, it's not hard to get things on the internet for free. It's just not. It's not difficult. I pay for 2 streaming services right now, and that's enough. That is enough for me. And I'm pretty consistent about paying for those 2 services. Technically, I pay for 3 streaming services. But I pay for 1 streaming service for the shipping. Because I pay for Amazon Prime, but I do it for the shipping part, not the television. And then I watch documentaries, because Amazon Prime has good documentaries. And I watch a few television programs here and there. But primarily, I don't go, okay, what's on Amazon Prime? I am interested in finding out what I should be checking out on Amazon Prime. Did I put the wrong... Oh, okay, I need C9. I was like, why is this arm not connecting? It's not connecting because I wasn't doing it right. C9 is 8, 9. There we go. Netflix is going to go bust next 5 years if my instincts are correct, says Arkansas. I could see that. Look, there is a machine behind Netflix. I think this move is going to fuck them over greatly. I think there will be a next Netflix exodus that won't be repaired until I generally don't think it'll be repaired until there's another breakout hit, and then some people will go back to it. But also, their method of trying to shore things up is bad for users, and so that's also a thing to like that people are gonna have to be wary of. It's just like this is just like auto log you out and ban. Like it's just gonna. Like, if I worked customer service for Netflix, I would be so fucking pissed off about this decision that is just going to negatively affect me. I think a lot about customer service these days since I do customer service, not consistently, but often enough, that I'm just like, oh, yikes. All right, we did the upper body of this kit. We're going to do the lower body here. Let's get into that. Netflix invests in their content in a way only Disney does, so I hope not. Well... So Netflix doesn't delist its content all that, which is nice. It delists a bunch of partner deals, but it generally, although it does cancel things that it's filmed instead of airing it, it doesn't, right now anyway, delist things, which does make it better than many other services. But it has made a lot of decisions that are bad for Netflix. Just seemingly terrible decisions that will hurt it in the long run. Yes, exactly. It does feel small company mentality. Yeah. Netflix acts like Netflix is the only game in town. And yes, outside of wrestling, streaming services internationally are down pretty much everywhere, with the exception of Disney Plus. The content wars have proven that there is too much content. But it is very funny that Netflix can still acts like, well, we killed Blockbuster, so we're good forever. Everyone will be okay with us eventually. They'll come around, which feels somewhat unlikely. Other things. That's the Elon and the Netflix. I wasn't going to bring up Netflix. We'll talk about that. Let's do very briefly. I went to Arby's on Tuesday, my friends. I talked a little bit about that during Tuesday's stream, where I played some of the Tomb Raider DLC, which was very fun. Very, very good time. Tomb Raider DLC, the Tomb Raider pack for Power Wash Simulator. Do that. But yeah, Tuesday I went to Arby's, got the big beef and cheddar, got the seasoned fries, had a good old time there at the Arby's. Recommended. That big beef and cheddar, still big, still beefy, still got plenty of cheddar on it. Cheddar in quotation marks because it's a weird melty cheese, but it's good. But it's been a while since I've had Arby's, and I was very happy to do that. That's a quick little thing. I talked about my cooking tonight. Pretty basic stuff this week. I'm running low on tater tots, so I'm going to have to, next time I do groceries, I'm going to have to get more because I've been enjoying my tater tots. Still pretty happy with the cooking. I made a meatloaf this week, which turned out really good. And I used the recipe that I used on my cooking stream 2 years ago. But I've pulled back a lot on the breadcrumbs because I'm using like a higher grade of beef. And sometimes I'll throw pork in there. But I'm using a higher grade of beef. And then also, I have just been eyeballing the recipe. This recipe, I was just like, well, I kind of know the ratios. We're just going to go with it and see what happens. And you know what? I want to put a little bit more steak sauce in this time because the steak sauce is a little runny. So I'm going to throw some more in. And you know what? I think I'm going to put a little paprika in this time. And oh, you know what? I've got that everything bagel seasoning mix. I'll just throw some of that in there. And just kind of eyeballing it and going with what I thought would be good. And turns out, weirdly enough, everybody, I did a very fucking good job with that shit. It was a good time. So that was nice. That was a nice thing. With all of the cooking. Tomorrow I'm gonna make another chopped steak sandwich because I want to use up the onion because one of the reasons I made a meatloaf was because of all the onion that I had, and I want to use that up because it's been in there for a bit. Onion keeps, but still want to use it up. So I got to cut up that onion and sort of some peppers and onions for my steak sandwich. And so I want to do that tomorrow probably. But I'll put it on a Kaiser roll instead of a long hoagie roll. Just do it like that. I probably have tater tots because, like I said, I do like potato tots. So yeah, kind of planning out. It's good. We got cold weather in here. Not as bad as some people are dealing with. Certainly not as bad, but it's still we've still run into some cold weather. So trying to make sure that everything's good on my end with that. Stay toasty and warm. All right, so we got that in. Got that part in here. Putting our legs together. As always with these kits, like, yes, I've done this is the third rider that I've built, but everyone's a little different. But as I put this together, it will be easier when I do the other leg. Let's see, 8 is this one here. PC 8. And PC Polycap 10. All right, other things to talk about tonight. Lanny Poffo passed away. Lanny Poffo, you may know as the Genius. The ice thawed today, which was nice, having to go to work less so, says last week. Well, I'm glad the ice is melting. That's a little bit here. But yes, Lanny Poffo, you may have known as the wrestler The Genius in WWE, WWF era, as the man that just took a beating, recited poetry, wore a graduation cap and gown for some reason, a good mid-card hand, a real weirdo, by all accounts, a lovable weirdo. Lovable, we'll make sure to say. And, of course, the real-life brother of one Macho Man, Randy Savage. Which is, lovely. By all accounts, yeah, a guy that you couldn't help but love. Passed away today, as reported, or as shared by Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who was requested to share with social media about that. A great worker, worked internationally, honed his craft, again, had a run in WWE, and yeah, it is a shame. He became a steward of the legacy of his brother, accepting the Macho Man's inclusion in the WWE Hall of Fame, which was very, very nice. And yeah, we hope his family is well. But that, yeah, can't really get into wrestling talk without bringing it up. Lanny Poffo, quite the fucking wrestler. Known for his promo work and his character work, but certainly also Leapin' Lanny could get the job done as a professional wrestler in the ring, making things happen. Okay, 21. Had to use 2 days of leave, Dirty Monkey says, because I had left my equipment in the office Monday night. Did nothing but veg out on the couch. It was nice. Nice. Dirty, that is nice. I'm glad you were able to, hey, here's the thing, right? Some people are really good about that leave, right? Really taking that leave, taking the time you need, getting those days in and all that. Some of us aren't good at that, right? I was never great at that. I would like schedule some time off, but I would never take like as many days as I was owed, right? Never really did enough of that myself. So like eventually they would just pile up and then you're just like, well, I can't actually take these days. So fuck. So who knows, right? It's only February, but take them now. Get it in there. Get it done. Good on you. Lastberg says, yeah, I didn't feel like doing any work from home, so I just burned vacation time. Yeah, I mean, that happens, right? Like, yeah, you're home because of weather stuff, and you're just like, well, I could, fuck it. I could do something, or I could not do something. I hear you. I understand where you're coming from on that one. We'll panel line this, and then we'll wait here and get everything together before we panel line. But we can do... This doesn't have much that needs to get done, but we can panel line the white here. I'm going on 16 years now with same business, so I take my leave as I need it. Nice, Dirty. Well, that is good. That's good you're able to. But yeah, sometimes it's like, well, I've been in a situation here where I can't really do anything, so might as well just kind of fucking relax a little bit. I know some people are like, oh, it's February. It's too early in the year to, like, chill out. It's like, that's never too early to fucking relax and recenter yourself. It's probably for the best that you do it when you can, rather than be, like, pushing it off. Because sometimes you push it off and you never pick it up. Okay, so we talked about that. We talked about that. Hey, WWE 2K23 is coming out this year, in the year 2023. It will feature... basically the same wrestling bullshit of the previous game, but one thing that's new, for the first time ever, lady referees. WWE has female presenting referees, and those ladies will be in the video game as referees, which is cool. So you can select them, or in your random or whatever. That is just cool and neat, and I think that is a fine addition to the WWE games. There's some other stuff, some modes. War Games is going to be a mode that I'm sure is broken as fuck because it'll be new, and I can't imagine they will not fuck up a new mode like that. But maybe they'll pull off a new mode with grace. I don't know. And the last bit of wrestling news on Dynamite. It happened. The main event. The show opened with people bleeding because it was a John Moxley match, and ended with people bleeding because Joe got hit with the edge of a table, Samoa Joe. So that did not seem to be planned bleeding. He got cut, and then Joe just kept going because Samoa Joe is a goddamn professional and a monster of a man, and he won back the TNT title, which is kind of their television title. So now... once again, Mr. Samoa Joe is the king of television as he holds the TNT title and the Ring of Honor television title. He now holds both titles yet again. Beat Darby Allin. Was Darby Allin just champion so that he could go and be a champion when he wrestled for Noah in that big main event match of the Great Muta's last match, just so that he could carry the belt out there? This is probably not the only reason why he was the champion, but it was definitely one of the reasons. And he had some good matches in that run. He did say that if he lost, he would not re-challenge for it, which I think is very funny. because that's a very stupid thing to do. But he did, he did say that. So I don't know what's next for Darby Allin, but thankfully it's not fucking around with that belt. And now Joe is the champion again, and Joe will be programmed with Wardlow, probably for the TNT title, maybe for the Ring of Honor title, who knows. But that's good. We like that. And yeah, that is your wrestling update. I don't have anything more to say. I am excited for next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday into Saturday, is the finals of the Princess Cup Tag Tournament for Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Hyper Misao, Shoko, please win. Please win. You most likely will not beat Miyu and Maki Ito. And yes, I am saying, me, part of the Simp Army, a card-carrying member of the Maki Ito Respect Army, I am saying that I am rooting against Maki Ito to win the Princess Cup because I love Hyper Misao so much. She is my favorite wrestler in Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. And also, the winners of the cup will get a title shot against Max the Impaler and Heidi Horitzer. And it will be funnier to see Misao and Shoko fight them. That will be fucking hilarious. And that's a way better, funnier matchup than Maki Ito and Miyu. Miyu does not need to lose to that. Like, no, we don't need to be seeing Miyu lose that kind of match. So instead, have it be, because they are going to lose. They're not going to. They're big foreign heels as tag champs. It's going to continue. So, but it's been a great tournament. There'll be some good matches on the undercard. Let's panel line this. Let's get on the two pieces we got to do here. We'll take this off the panel and panel the whole thing because this will move around and it'll be easier to panel line it. But let's get the rest of these parts on here. We got some new parts to put on there. We got a P12 to go on here because we got to get some red on this kit that wasn't part of the normal version. So I am excited for more wrestling. I could watch that show live next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday. But instead, I'm going to wait because I want to watch Dynamite with friends and then see if people want to watch it later in the weekend. And that one will have English commentary. I got to say this, friends. If you've ever been curious about Pro Wrestling Noah or DDT or Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, the price right now to get Wrestle Universe is very inexpensive. It is not a pricey endeavor to get into some very good wrestling at a very reasonable price. So I would say consider it. Not every show has English commentary. The big shows do. The very big shows do. On occasion, there is a show that is a pay-per-view price. Most of their events are included with Wrestle Universe. Just recently, there was a show, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, like this week. They had a show that was like part of their anniversary, and they did it in the venue of their very first show, which was, there was no ring, so they did it again in the same venue with no ring, which is rad. Oops, I put this piece on and didn't put the sticker on first, so now I got to put the sticker on. We're going to do 34, I believe, here. Yes, do 34. So these are more vent stickers, which are not great, but we'll apply this sticker. We should be able to get that in there. We had to do this before with the other two versions of this kit, so not out of the ordinary. Basically, we've got to like put this in here and then like bend it around. And then I got to see. Yeah. It's a weird sticker that has to kind of like, you kind of just have to shove in and fold around, but it does work. And it looks way better with the sticker than without it, so we will include that tiny sticker. But anyway, yeah, I would say if you like your Japanese wrestling, it's worth taking a look at that service because they do show some cool shit. All right, let's panel line this here. Other things to talk about tonight. We'll talk about some games probably in the second hour. Real quick, I don't have a lot to say about this, but I did want to say something about it. Rumbleverse is going to shut down. If you have never played Rumbleverse, if you've been meaning to play Rumbleverse, check out fucking Rumbleverse on the Epic Store before it gets shut down. Their official statement did make it sound like they're not necessarily done with the idea of Grapple City, for the old Rumbleverse, but that this game is going to be done. This incarnation of it's going to be done. But there might be something in the future. They did do, Iron Galaxy did a lot of work for that to develop this whole thing, but it is hit the end of the road, unfortunately. It seems to have been the end of it, which is a shame. Knockout City is also shutting down. Yes, that is a different thing. Knockout City also shutting down in June, I believe, but the PC version, will have a host your own service. So that will continue. It'll just be a bit of a different thing, and I believe that is later. But yes, the free-to-play, microtransactions heavy to cosmetics or, passes, season passes, all that, seems to be, I don't want to say dead in the water, but it seems like there isn't. Hey, it's weird to say this, people, that apparently people don't have a lot of forever games, multiple forever games in their life. They have like a forever game, and that is the game they play. Like, I'm still playing Hearthstone and Marvel Snap, but I don't play Marvel Snap like every day, and I have never spent a dime in Marvel Snap, right? Marvel Snap is not a game that I spend money in. Hearthstone is a game that I spend these days. I get enough gold throughout the season to afford the mid-season pack, the expansion, the mid-season expansion. I get enough gold for that. And then I spend $20 every expansion on the battle pass. Because I have done the math and the bonuses are kind of fun and the progress is easier that way. So I do that. So I spend some money on Hearthstone every year, but I don't spend a lot of money on Hearthstone these days. I don't spend any money. I have spent money, but don't currently spend any money in Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go right now is just something that I'm like, oh, well, I'm going for a walk. I guess I'll log in. Oh, some Pokemon hatched. Some eggs hatched. So, all right, let me send out, this person's been looking for a gift, so I'll send a gift there because I get 5 gifts a day. If and when Pokemon Go decides, Niantic decides, you don't get a refill of your gifts every day, that's when I definitely stop because then I just won't. I don't go near Pokestops enough for it to make any sense for me to keep playing if they're not going to feed me out some stuff. So I just won't. But yeah, my assumption is that there's a limit to how many forever games people are willing to play, and you kind of have to be a big deal in that space to exist in that space, which is a shame. Unless you are a product that costs a decent amount of money and then goes free to play, and you have built-in an install base of people who spent money and then feel like they should keep playing. If you're starting in a free-to-play space, that is a rough place to be. That's just the unfortunate reality of that right now. I look forward to, at some point, giving Dave Lang a hug. It's been a while since I saw Mr. Lang, and I would like to give Dave a big hug for a number of reasons, mostly because I miss the man, but also because I feel bad. Guy's trying to run a studio in 2 cities, keep everybody employed, make a bunch of games, continue to be a cool company to work for. You know, work with his best friend, like just get shit done, and feel bad that this is going in a poor direction for them. It's a rough business. This game's business, rough and tough. Let's see. We've got a couple games to talk about later. Of course, second hour, we're going to talk about some anime. I'm going to go ahead and just check this here. Yeah. I'm going to retweet my tweets. I'm going to get more friends to join us because it'll be nice. Let's see. Okay, so important to know, everybody. The Xbox 360 store is not shutting down. There was a message about the Xbox 360 Marketplace closing in May 2023. Apparently that is incorrect, even though it was buried somewhere and somebody alerted Mario 64 to that. Apparently, Wario 64, I'm sorry. Apparently that is not accurate. Now, are some, not yet anyway. Well, Lord Crashington, I'll say, at the very least, Microsoft was like, hey, no, it's not shutting down in May. Sorry, no, don't worry about it. Everything's cool. There are games being delisted in February. That is a different situation. Text in the official support page indicated that was the plan, but then they're like, no. But yeah, Orange Box, Jet Set Radio, stuff that isn't on other Xbox stores is going out there. That's on February 7th that stuff is going away. But apparently Bree Adams from Xbox was like, hey, that's an error. Don't worry about it. It's not closing on May 2023. But also, there's the other stuff. And now, people are March 27th is when the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS eShops are closing. And so people are, I think the games being delisted is weird, especially with no reason. Well, Lord Crashing, the reason is like, most likely it's that they're tired. Like, I bet Valve is like, hey, there's just enough people trying to do stuff on this that we don't want to support it anymore. That's most likely what it is. It's like long-term handshakes and a bunch of things like that. But like, I bet the Orange Box is literally just like, fucking people are still playing the Orange Box in the 360. That game is old. We don't want to do this anymore. Like, it's mostly just that. Like, it's not like there's no reason. It's no specified reason. But there's always a reason for people to be like, no, we don't want to do this anymore. And mostly is just that. It's just like, there's probably often when games get delisted seemingly out of nowhere, it is because there is an exploit in that game that that allows people to do something malicious that that security people at a company are just like, fuck. People can do this now with this thing. And so they just try to button that up. That is most likely why the Wii U and 3DS eShops are closing, is because there is issues within the systems that are exploitable, and they can prevent it in other firmware, but not that. That is generally believed to be the reason why some of those stores, beyond the we want you to buy it all again, generally it is that. Generally it is like, it's just easier to take the shit out than to try to figure out who could patch it and how to patch it and all that other stuff and fix this other thing. Often it is just easier for them to go, it doesn't exist anymore. Fuck off. Now no one gets to have fun with this because of the weirdness that someone else was doing with it. Let's see. Other news stuff. AI generated Seinfeld-like Twitch TV show. Hey y'all, there's a Twitch channel. Now I'm not one to talk about positively anyway. ChatGPT or DALL-E I'm generally not necessarily here for that. A lot of stuff that has been trained on is stolen, particularly in the artwork department. A lot of its uses, its intended uses that people are excited about, have been for nefarious garbage purposes. In many ways, to remove creative types such as myself from doing cool work. Because the thing that people who make money hate the most is creative people that they have to pay. So I'm generally opposed to that. But I do like using a combination of AI art and chat generated text to be fucking weird and get weird with it. If you're gonna get weird with it, I can be fucking on board with people getting weird with it. And that's what we're talking about here. Basically, it's a 24/7 sitcom, quotation marks, on Twitch that just using artificial intelligence and programming builds a knockoff of, like, not a knockoff, but like a pastiche of like a Seinfeld episode. And there are jokes and there's like laugh track stuff and there's some art and it moves around a little bit and it's bad. And sometimes there's like a TV guide, like a generated like TV guide thing that comes in. And it's got like thousands of people watching it. Watch Me Forever is the Twitch name if you want to check that out. Watch Me Forever. Not an endorsement, just a weird thing that I did feel like talking about because it is fucking weird. Occasionally it is funny. Sometimes it does have jokes. Now, are those jokes accidents? Lucky breaks? I don't know what this was trained on fully, so it could just be recycling premises and stuff from other things. There was like a thing about like there are people who have been paying enough attention to call out in chat to call out the like the inconsistencies. Like Susan had a work function, but Susan so she didn't want to go into the office. But she works from home. Like, I just saw that today. People were, like, talking about how, like, it was only, like, 2 days ago that we found out that Susan works from home. But now this is the plot of the episode. And it's just like, oh, okay. It's very weird. It's very strange. Mismatch Media are the people behind it. They are using a bunch of different stuff. And it's very weird. It kind of looks like voxels. I would say it is worth checking out. There is a stand-up portion, which I still haven't seen any of the stand-up from when I've checked it out. But there is a stand-up portion. Yeah, it's pretty weird. It's cool, I think. But yeah, they want it to run forever as long as things keep working. I would say this is a cool application of weird, dubious technology that I'm kind of worried about / unhappy about. I would say in the grand scheme of things, this is a interesting application of said technology in a way that I can sort of kind of get behind, and I don't feel completely terrible about it. Also, it is nice to know that, like, even if it occasionally has a joke, it's not very funny and not very good. And that's nice as somebody that writes and performs comedy. It's nice to know that I'm not too worried about it stealing my jobs. It's just that someday one of my jobs could end up being takes AI bullshit and tries to turn it into something productive and useful, which would be terrible. That would be a terrible editing job. Because it wouldn't be a writing job. It would just be an editor job. And there's enough writers who get hired as editors, non-union capacity for that. There's just enough of that bullshit. We don't need more of that shit. But we're definitely getting more of it. We are definitely getting more of it. I don't think I talked about this. I'll just say, I tweeted about it. I got a $1. I always talk about when I get a check, speaking of the industry, when I get myself a residual check for my brief work on television, I always like to talk about it, give a shout out to SAG-AFTRA who look after me. I am not part of the union, but I have done union work, and so they still look after me and look out for me, and I appreciate that very much. I am pro-union, fully and 100%. This check was for $1. And that is annoying. Did I deposit this $1 check? You bet your ass I did. Deposited through... It is, I gotta say, it is very funny to do a deposit via my my bank app, because I got that. I did that. And so, because it is a deposit through the app, they don't give you any of the money available right away, which is fine. But it is very funny to be like, a deposit $1, available now $0, and it's like, oh, they won't give me $1 yet. Damn you, bank of mine that I won't say the name of. Damn you, give me my dollar. It is cleared. The check is cleared. So don't worry about it, everybody. I got my fucking $1. But it is funny to just be like, I gotta wait on this $1. No. But at the end of the day, I'm still grateful for the lovely people that look out for me and take care of me over in the wonderful world of a SAG-AFTRA coming. It is frustrating that I occasionally they just don't mail stuff to the proper address. So I do have to, on my residuals, I'll get it all back, but I do have to do my New York state taxes, even though I don't live in New York. I spent a long weekend in New York last year, but I didn't work in New York. But when I did those jobs, I was in New York, and so my residuals go to my New York address and then get redirected here to this address. They get forwarded. And so I have to send in tax stuff to the state of New York for like nothing, and I'll get it all back. But it is frustrating that I have to go through the process. And I tried to figure out a way, like, yeah, it does last week. It does suck because they'll mail it to me here at this address, but because I did the work in New York, the residual, like, they have to take out state taxes for New York. And it's not enough. It's never going to be enough for the state of New York to be like, we need our cut. But it is frustrating. Luckily, I can do it. New York I can do online and it doesn't cost me anything. So that's nice. But I still have to prepare it. We're going to take a pause for the cause. I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support the channel, go through all of that. We'll do it pretty lightly because it's an intimate group of viewers tonight. So, and then Saturday stream, I promise I will have this. I will get this. I will get it leveled and it will not be off here. Let's see. I promise that. But tonight, it's a little off. We're a little off kilter, but I'll figure that out. All right. I'm probably going to save this for Saturday. We can talk about this list on Saturday. There's like a list of some adaptations we can chat about. Anyway, hey, if you're currently a subscriber to the old Bill with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, and the Scythe emote in the chat right now. Let the people know you're a subscriber. That's the easiest way to support what I do. I'll go through these pretty quickly, but I do want to mention a few things. That subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. We had Dirty resubscribe tonight, which was very kind. We appreciate that. Subscribing is the easiest way to help me out. You could also gift a sub. There have been 0 gift subs this month. It's only the second day in February and the first stream in February. We've had no gifted subs. So if you want to jump to the top of the gift sub leaderboard, you can do that. If you want to, what was I going to say? If you want to do some bits and coins, gift a sub, become a subscriber, Prime gaming token, your Amazon account, or cash money, you can do all that. There are other ways to support what I do here that involve money. You could join my Patreon. There is a $1, $3, $5, $10 tier. Ghost Valve just says button. Subscribe for 21 months. Let's hit the applause there. Thank you, Ghost Valve. Thank you for renewing your subscription, Ghost Valve. Appreciate that very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego set them out in chat for that. But then also, as I was saying, I do have a Patreon. At patreon.com/PatBear. $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. Different rewards for the different tiers. Consider helping me out on Patreon. That would be cool. I've got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. You could become a member over there. $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos a day early. And you get some message from me throughout the year about some cool stuff that's going on, so you don't lose out on any information. What else? You could just do a one-time cash donation instead of doing a monthly if you want to support me financially that way, because everything I make through all those goes into a fund to buy model kits. This kit is a premium Bandai kit that I could not have gotten without your generous support. So thank you, everybody who's ever helped me out financially. I get to buy stuff because of your generosity. Now, if you want to know what I'm going to build next, well, the next thing I'm going to build is something for my my backlog, right? My $10 patrons are going to vote tomorrow on, hey, what's Pat going to work on Saturday? Because this kit, we'll finish this kit up on Saturday because we're almost done with the legs. We'll finish the legs tonight, and then there's not a lot left to do after that. We got the waist and the weapons. So we're going to finish this kit up on Saturday. What's the next thing I'm going to build? Well, something for my backlog. Now, the only way to skip my backlog totally is to buy something from my Amazon wish list, because anything I buy there will jump the queue. And I'll real quickly, we got some Lego sets, we got some model kits. There are some high grades on there that are not expensive right now. They have free Prime delivery or free shipping, and they are reasonably priced items. So take a look at that, see if there's something there. That if there's something that you'd love to see me build on the stream that you want to purchase there, that would be great. You could do that if you wanted to. And there's some gear at the bottom because it's always nice to have some gear options. But yeah, if there's something you see that you're like, it would be cool, Pat, if you built that thing, I'll just buy it. And then I gotta build it because you paid money for it. So yeah, you could do that. You could get something from my Throne wish list instead of Amazon if you don't want to support Amazon, which I totally fucking understand. Totally get behind that. Or you go to USA Gundam Store, buy a gift card there. They'll send it to you in an email, and then you can DM me on Twitter because my DMs are open as long as Twitter is still a thing. Or you could send me a whisper here on Twitch with a gift card code, and I would use that code. And that would jump the queue too. I would just buy something from USA Gundam Store and do that. Why not? If you want to support me and not spend a dime, go to my Discord. My Discord rules. Lovely people in that Discord. It's a good time. Full of great people. Couple video links for you to check out. Oh boy. I got video links for you to check out, friends. You should check out Pat Bear's Anime Club. Did you know that there are 11 isekai out this season? That's right. This is the season of overpowered main characters and isekais or isekais. And there are 11. Count them. 11 shows new and returning this season. New, returning, and ongoing. I talked about all 11 and if I'm watching them or not. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series. Every week I put a new episode out. I put an episode yesterday. They're just character monologues. It's me doing characters. Occasionally it'll be like prose. This character, the best way I can sell it is, this is based on a real person in my life who says the following every month when I see them. Karaoke brunch. and I exaggerated karaoke brunch and Saturday mahjong. They say mahjong like mahjong, like it is lovely, and I love it so much that I wrote a character of. Basically, I'm doing an impression of a friend, of acquaintance slash friend, but it's a Southern person doing a meeting at the doing some announcements before karaoke brunch gets started. I love my monthly karaoke brunch. Wouldn't miss it for the world. So that is I have somebody who I am casually acquainted with, mostly from karaoke brunch, who picked me up, who is picking me up this Sunday to go to karaoke brunch because I don't have a ride. And they were like, "What, Pat? No, you have to come and sing Cake." I sing. I have in the past and will, if requested, sing Short Skirt, Long Jacket. And so when they found out that I was not attending karaoke brunch, they were like, "I'll pick you up." So I'm gonna go to karaoke brunch on Sunday. Anyway, that's this week's Baerly Rehearsed. I was really happy to do. It's been fun doing comedy characters. I miss doing it, so happy to do that. All right, we're gonna talk about some anime. I'm gonna get back to working on the other leg because it is leg day here on the stream. So we're gonna get into some leg building. But while I work on this leg, a thing I need to do is drink some water and then dramatically transition back to the overhead so we could do that as well. But first, dramatic transition and some water. Oh, right now. Water's pretty great. All right, let's get back into it. We did one leg. We're going to start doing the other one. It'll be the same process as I just did, and hopefully I won't fuck anything up. So while I'm doing that, I can tell you about some anime that I watched since our last build stream on Monday, because I did have the chance to watch more anime, and let me tell you, anime's pretty good. Pretty good. Campfire Cooking Another World with My Absurd Skill is one of my favorite shows this season because it is a very chill anime. This episode, not as chill as other episodes in the show. There were I would describe events in this one as shenanigans afoot. If you haven't been watching Campfire Cooking Another World with My Absurd Skill, dude gets summoned to another world. Is not going to be an adventurer. Is not going to be a hero. Has a bad vibe about what's going on. Basically gets out of Dodge as fast as possible. Starts making a life as someone doing a lot of cooking for adventurers because his special ability is that he can buy stuff from a grocer in Japan. Ingredients and cookware and all kinds of stuff. So Mukuna also has made friends with Fel. Fel is a Fenrir, mythical creature that can communicate and is really strong. Anyway, our dude discovers that, hey, guess what? I can use magic, but it's not like strong, and that's fine. He doesn't really need to use strong magic, but like, it is cool that he can use magic. Anyway, you know, they signed a deal that Fel would make, you know, protect him in exchange for meals. But he's like, you should probably be able to protect yourself, right? So I'm gonna force you to fight. You know, you'll get better at your magic if you have to survive. So basically, a big portion of this episode is our guy fighting for his life, and that is kind of different than this show has been up to this point. So it was a little more action. The action didn't look particularly great, because it's not an action series, but it was fine. It needed to happen, and it happens. But then he does faint, and Fel has to save him. But then Fel's like, hey, you know, I hunted down a Goblin King, but you can get this cool magic stone. We can't eat this, but, you know, yeah, here, have a big magic stone. That's my apology, I guess. I guess that was his apology. for shenanigans. Alright, so it's gonna go like that. Wait, did I do this wrong? No. It'll go like that. Okay. Great. I was worried there that I might have done it wrong, but I didn't. It's great. Other things that happen in here. Oh, so he just Fell's like, actually my best magic is wind magic because I am supported by by a goddess of wind. And so then like Motoka's just like, hey, if there's any gods or goddesses out there, if anybody wants to support me, I'm interested. Let me know. And someone responds, but we don't know anything about it yet. There'll be a future thing. Yeah, there is a goddess that hears it. Then there's a whole bit of shenanigans. Like, things have been going well. He's met some nice adventurers. Eventually, he gets a map. Turns out it's hard to get maps because the threat of spread of information is tough because it's a time of war. So it takes a long time to get maps, like good maps. So eventually he buys a map. Turns out he got ripped off, friends. Got fucking ripped off and bought a map for way more than it was actually worth, which is, a bummer. Wait, so this has to go this, okay. Wait, I'm do this wrong. Sorry, make sure I do this right so I don't have to redo what I'm doing here. Is this correct? Yes. Yes, this is correct. Hooray. Let's see. Other things that happened in this episode. Okay, so they got the map they actually needed. And they're going to go to... They're heading toward a kingdom that's near the ocean. Because, our main guy's a Japanese person. He wants seafood. So they got to go there. And, the adventures continue of our overpowered main character. Not really, because he's not super overpowered. He just has a really overpowered skill, a cheat skill, and the mystical beast that is his companion and protecting him. And, yeah, like I said, generally this series is pretty chill. This was not chill. So... I'm going to redo this here. I'm just going to really wipe this off and then redo it here a little differently. Just really clean that up. And then we'll hit that again. All right. Let's see. The magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. So there's a dragon out there, and... Annie and Yuffie are heading out there to join the adventurers tonight because Annie's a high-ranking adventurer, even though she is the princess of the kingdom. She's a high-ranking adventurer. And there's a stampede because when a dragon shows up, monsters freak the fuck out because, of course, they do. Because they're running away from the dragon and then they're running towards people because people are better than dragons. Annie fights and uses some medicine to strengthen herself and help people out. So there's a lot of fighting in this one. And then she's using her broom and fighting. But the dragon is the strongest thing she's ever dealt with, right? So, like, it's going to take a lot of effort, and thankfully she's got backup from Yuffie. But basically, which is unbelievable, she uses the magic tools that she's created, all her abilities, unlocks some limiters and all that, and cuts through because magic breath is magic. She cuts through this dragon's breath and pierces it, thus defeating a dragon, which nobody thought. They were like, oh, we're just going to die here and maybe slow it down and maybe we'll tire it out and it'll want to give up moving around. But nope. Our magicless princess just fucking defeated a dragon. And then the dragon telepathically congratulates Annie and then curses her, which is rude. That's some rude shit, dude. You lost. But is it a curse, or is it strengthening her with dragon magic and dragon power? We don't really fully know. Let's see. So we don't know what's going to happen after that. And then there's a victory party with Annie and Yuffie are there, and everyone's psyched about it. But we know that Annie doesn't love crowds, and she doesn't love being around a bunch of dudes that are all being weird and trying to advance their own agendas and aren't trying to, or some of them are fucking psyched that they're okay and that she's okay, but they're also like, ooh, this is my chance to like get in good with the princess. And also, hey, remember how the last time they were at a party was when the Yuffie's engagement was canceled with the prince, and it was traumatic. And so instead, the two of them dance with each other on the balcony, which didn't happen in the manga, but did happen in the light novel. Because, don't forget, this shit's gay. Positive. And that's rad. It was just a cool little romantic scene, a little romance moment between our characters. Just as a remind you that this show, while it did have it was an action-packed episode where she fought a fucking dragon. And the animation looked pretty damn good. Also, this is a show where our characters are definitely falling in love with one another. And it fucking rules. So that's the Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess, a Genius Young Lady. Pound for pound, probably the best show out this season. I know that some people probably won't check it out because it is an isekai, but it is really good. It is a good one of those. If you were going to give isekai another chance, I would say it's this one, with it being female-led and fucking queer and cool. Check it out. And then the ice guy and his cool female colleague. Oh, just a lovely little... Oh, my heart. What a lovely little series. It's so good. So fucking sweet and cute and good. God damn. So Himuro enters a competition to win 2 collectible kitten plates because they just love kittens and cute things, of course. Komori talks about how, like, I just don't like it when my ears and tail pop out because, magic and stuff and spirits and all that. And then, so we're getting a little bit of the minor characters where Sajimi is like, hey, I just wanted you to know, I think that your cat ears and tail are cute. And if you wanted to, just keep them out, that'd be fine with your friend, me, that I think they're great. Which is like, oh, that's nice, but also like, hey, back off, dude. Chill, maybe chill out a little bit. Maybe relax a little bit. Let's see. So then Komori... Oh, no, so we didn't know that our dude, Fuyusuki, enters the same contest as Himuro. And then we've got, like, hey, Sajima is leaving toys on her desk, and now she's getting a little bit of a crush on him. And Himuro realizes he won't collect enough points by the deadline. So then Fuyusuki gives her points to him. And then the office freezes, because of course it does. And that's just cute. Oh, it's so cute. But so then Himuro wins, but he's got matching plates. So he gives one of the plates to Fuyusuki because he wouldn't have won without her help. It's just like, these little adorable, wonderful little nerdy nerds. Just so great. Kateri feels that he is upset. One of the other characters, so I can't even remember their name. And that's Onatashi? Yeah, Onatashi. So there's another romance thing happening right there because some of the supporting characters actually do have feelings for one another. And they're like, okay, well, why don't you practice? And then being like sincere. So he practices with Fuyusuki, and then Himuro like freezes him in ice as like a no, that's not what I meant by being sincere. Don't practice on the girl I like. It is not intentional, or it is seemingly not intentional, but definitely intentional. It is pretty funny. And Katori rushes off to confess again, like a jerk. And then Fuyusuki wonders what it would have been like if he and Himuro were childhood friends. Like, what if they had been childhood friends this whole time? And then, to make things even cuter in the future, because we're getting some future cute shit happening, the boss shows up and is just like, hey, I have heard that you like cats. Here is 2 tickets to a cat-themed amusement park. And I wonder who he'll ask to go with him to the cat-themed amusement park. Perhaps the person he has a crush on that he knows also likes cats. Perhaps. Ooh, it's so good and fun. You know, I talked about last year how one of my favorite shows of the year was Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, because they started off in a relationship, so we did not have to deal with a long stretch of them not being in a relationship. Like, we didn't have to do the will they, won't they. I am enjoying this will they, won't they very much because it is just cute, very cute, fun vibes. And I am enjoying the vibes of this show. So I am currently okay with the fact that they have not, like, it has not progressed and perhaps won't progress into them, like, dating until the end of this. But also, it may not. It might be the whole season where at the end is just them being, like, going on more dates but not calling them dates. I don't know. But they have, like, spent time together in situations that they have figured out are dates. So that is more progress than similar shows. So that is at least something, and I can take that. But anyway, those are lovely series. I think the anime I talk about on Thursdays is my favorite day to talk about anime. Of all the shows I watch, yeah, I think it's Thursday, because these 3 are just powerhouses. I'm probably going to go back in and check out more of... what is that? Oh, yeah. I probably will check out Tomo-chan as a Girl. I kind of got bored with it. There was also a thing that happened in one of the episodes that I was like, I don't really love that. But I will give it credit. The character Carol, who is American and Japanese, her mom, who is American, speaks Japanese. The character is doing an intonation like Japanese is not her first language. That is very good. Because I have complained about folks that where English is not their first language, and how when they get hired to do as a voice actor to do that kind of work, it comes off kind of shitty. One, she barely says anything in English because she's talking to Japanese folks, so she's saying things in Japanese. But the choice that this voice actress made, and I don't know the voice actress's name, so I apologize, but Carol's mom, her voice is so, she's doing it like intentionally slow. Like she's, like the character itself, the mom, is like having to remember like the Japanese words for things. And like she knows it. The VA for Carol is doing both the GP and NA dubs. I did not know that, Lashbrook. Okay, that's fun. But the mom was just like, who are you? And, oh, how, are you actually her friends? And, oh, wait, oh, Tomo, you're breasts. Okay, never mind. You're not a guy. She thought that Tomo-chan was a guy. And it's just like, the way that she is slow about saying the Japanese words, I think is just a very fun choice. I did not know that Carol is doing the dubs. That's fun. That's fun. I think Carol is a fine job as well. But the mom I thought was like, I thought that was a neat choice. So I didn't want to give a shout out to that. Okay, well, we got plenty of time here. So I guess we will talk about this article. I'll talk about a little bit more anime here. I thought this might be a rant, but instead we're going to talk about this here. It's not a rant, but Kotaku put up like a slideshow of every upcoming Hollywood anime live action adaptation, like upcoming ones. So these are all the anime adaptations that either movies or TV shows for adaptations. And I believe this they put this list together because of Watanabe's comments about the live action Cowboy Bebop, which were not positive, which was fun. And then once again, it made the rounds again because everybody fucking knows this at this point. But once again, he said that Ed, is based on Yoko Kanno or inspired by Yoko Kanno, which is very funny to think about. This amazing musician. So the first one is Avatar: The Last Airbender is going to have a live action treatment. This will be a trilogy of films, supposedly, from Nickelodeon's film studio called Avatar Studios. So the idea that they're setting out to make 3 of them, I think is very funny. It is Nickelodeon doing it, so that does give me, instead of, fucking M. Night Shyamalan. So that's better, but it's still like, Also, yes, Avatar is not anime. So including it on this list is weird because it's not an anime. But I will forgive it because it is a animation that is clearly inspired by anime. And so I will let that slide. But yes, before you even start, Last Airbender is not an anime, but it is animated, and it's going for that vibe. Let's see. What other thing we want to talk about here? There's going to be a second attempt at a live-action Death Note. But this is good. The Western anime. Yes, Lurk Action. So this is different from the 2017 one. This is the Stranger Things creators are going to try to make a Death Note movie. My big thing is that, like, don't. Like, it didn't work. I don't think Death Note works as, like, a live action. I just don't. I think it is an unnecessary weird thing. I mean, that's probably going to be the chorus for this, is me going like, you don't have to do this. Instead of doing it, you could choose to not do it. No one is going to make you do this. But, apparently they're going to do it, and, hey, Stranger Things is good. So who the fuck knows? Maybe it'll be excellent. I don't think it will be. Maybe it'll be fucking great. Let's see. Next one. This is a slideshow, so I have to keep clicking on things because I didn't go and just write them down. Death Note is the perfect manga. Haven't been interested in any adaptation of it for me. There you go. See, yeah, I don't feel that strongly about it, the source material, myself. This is the one that I'm like, okay, this could be good. Amazon Studios is working on a live-action Hellsing film. I mean, yeah. You could make a fucking, like, hey, vampire that fights other monsters at the behest of a family due to a curse or magic? Sure. That's Derek Kolstad, the John Wick screenwriter. The idea of taking on Millennium and some zombies, like, that one, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I could see that being pretty okay. Like, that was the one I'm like, of all the things, yeah. But yeah, that could be good. Look, do I think that the live action Gundam movie is going to be good? No. The Netflix live action Mobile Suit Gundam movie. I don't think so. I don't think it'll be good. I think Char's helmet and mask is going to look bad on a person, like a real person, because it's never looked good. Because people have cosplayed as Char, and I don't think it's ever looked good. And I don't think that this will work. I would love to be proven wrong, because obviously I enjoy Gundam quite a bit, but I just don't think that that is going to happen and work. That's Legendary Pictures and of course, Sunrise working together on that. Netflix has so many live-action adaptations of anime in the pipeline. One of them has to be good. Will it be My Hero Academia? If they have the money and they have a good cast, maybe. It's a movie. That story, I don't think you start with a movie. I think you do a TV show if you're going to do that. Like, I don't think a movie is the right way to go if you were going to do... if you had to do a movie of My Hero Academia, I think a TV show is the better option. And in general, I think it's a weird choice that I don't love, but okay. It is the English directorial debut of Shinosuke Sato. Okay, well. And also the live-action films Inuyasha and I Am a Hero. So 50% I enjoy of the live-action treatments that Sato has done. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be good. So, is there any information about this? No. We don't have to talk about this too much. In 2016, Shonen Jump said, hey, we're going to do a live-action Naruto movie. And then there's been very little said about that, except that the guy, Michael Gracie, who directed The Greatest Showman, is going to direct it. But then in 2018, he was just like, yeah, it's still working on it. And we got the mangaka to say it's good. The script is good. But that, like... but like I said, that the last time anyone talked about it was in 2018. I don't think we can... I think this is just to fill out a slideshow to get those clicks. The One Piece series, I watched the trailer. This is on Netflix because of fucking course it is. It looks fine. I think the casting is cool. It looks pretty good. The people that are involved seem to be pretty excited about working on the project. I don't know if I need this, but yesterday the trailer dropped yesterday. I mean, it's a first look. So it's not because it's Geek Week on Netflix. Hold on one quick second here. So yeah. So it's like a 2-minute little like, hey, check out the Going Merry. Check this shit out. Right? So it's not a trailer. It's a sneak peek, I should say. But there's some stuff that came out yesterday. And it's coming out this year. So that's probably actually why this article happened. And then Sony said last year that, like, hey, we're making a One Punch Man movie, which, like, yeah. I mean, if you're, yeah, you know what? Yeah. You should make a One Piece movie. I would say you should do that. The people that wrote Venom, the movie Venom, are going to be writing it. And the production company brought us such things as Uncharted and Ghost in the Shell, the most recent Ghost in the Shell. Got the Fast and Furious director for One Punch Man. Let me see. I do not have that written here. I have who is writing it and who is producing it. But it does not include the director in this little write-up here. Let's see. Netflix is working on a live-action Pokemon series, and that sounds monstrous. I think that Pokemon, look, did I think that the Detective Pikachu movie was better than it had any right to be? Yes. Do I think that it should be that a live-action Pokemon thing makes any sense to do? Not particularly. There are stickers that need to go on this that I did not put on, so I need to put some stickers on this. And I remember these stickers being a fucking pain in the ass, so let's get these stickers on these leg parts here. Actually, you know what? Let's build the foot here so that we finish the legs, and then we'll do that after. Because we got to do yeah. We got to do these, but let's get this foot on here. Whoops. Sorry about that. I want to say Justin Lin left Fast 10 to do One Punch Man, which is the way to go. Okay, again, I'll say Kotaku did not list that information, but it does sound like Fast 10 was a nightmare, and so I would say going and doing something else that you like rather than something you don't want to be a part of. Sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a weird choice, but sure, to do a live action of that. And then there's going to be a live action Saint Seiya, which sounds fucking good because the most recent Saint Seiya has the computer generated art makes me unhappy. I think Saint Seiya definitely lends itself to a live action. What is this for here? Yeah, okay. The Witcher executive producer will direct the series. Sean motherfucking Bean is going to be in this. And Famke Janssen. Okay. Hell yeah. That's cool. Yeah, all right. I can get on board with that. Now, they gotta do the original Pegasus Fantasy theme, and not the Netflix new version, which is not good. That's my one demand is, use the good music. Aristophan says GoldenEye reunion. Yes, Sean Bean and Famke Janssen back together again. I don't know. That's a pretty good cast right out of the bat. I am cautiously optimistic about that. Steins Gate is gonna have is producing a live action adaptation of Steins Gate. I never got into Steins Gate. I could say that was a statement that was made 2 years ago that the folks behind Altered Carbon for Netflix were working on a Steins Gate thing, but that was 2 years ago. We haven't heard anything since, so I don't know if we can. That might have just gone into development now, and there's nothing for it. But that's kind of an interesting idea. I don't know what you say about that. And then, hey, Netflix, fucking 7 years ago now, was like, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make a live action series based on Sword Art Online. Have they said much since? No. I remember they made some articles there where they were like, it's going to have a Japanese cast. We're going to do a Japanese talent for this. That's the thing we're interested in doing. Please don't get mad at us. Because that was 2016. And some people were like, But that, I bet, is in developmental, whatever. I'm sure that was just announced too early before anything was definitive. But who knows? Maybe it will happen. I will say Sword Art does not have the cachet it once had. And maybe the iron is not hot enough for that. The progressive films have done well, but apparently underperformed. The whole progressive thing has not done as well as they imagined, because it just existed for a while. And also, Sword Art Online is not great. Premise was interesting. The death game element was kind of fun. The not really an isekai, but is an isekai, but using some isekai tropes that now are standard tropes in all modern isekai. Like, there was certainly, there's certainly reasons to be interested in that project, but nah, I bet it doesn't happen. Let's see, what else we got here? Apparently, there is a live action movie adaptation of Tokyo Revengers, but it's in Japan, right? Because Japan does that, right? They'll do the live action stuff. That's fine. But apparently there's going to be another one coming out this year, which is a two-parter in Japan. So they're just doing more of that. And that sounds fine, because, like, it's a bunch of high school kids fighting. And yes, some of them fight way better than any high school kid has any right to. And some of those high school kids do look like they're grown-ass adults. But also, that's fine, because that way you can hire people who don't look like kids. And that's fine. So there's going to be another one of those. And then, let's see. What else we got here? There's going to be a live-action remake of Your Name, which, I don't think that would be good. J.J. Abrams is going to produce it. I hope that doesn't happen. Stay away from that, J.J. And then also, there's only been one leaked image that got out there of Yusuke, but Netflix did commission a filmed in Japan live action Yu Yu Hakusho. But there was like a cast photo that went out there. And then eventually, because of that, Netflix did put out some looks at the cast. But that's coming out supposedly in December of this year. But yeah, they did put that out there. And the cast members looked pretty great. It looked cool. Very stylized, but did look cool. So hopefully that'll be good. But also, I don't know if that'll come out the end of this year. We'll see. That article again had some stuff that was like announced, but you can't really, until it's like, oh, they actually filmed it or they're going forward with it. Like, you can only give that so much credit, because people talk about a lot of stuff and it just never comes out. And then, like, it's one of those things, like, if the last time someone talked about that thing was 6 years ago, you can kind of assume something happened. Maybe it won't ever happen. All right, so we got to put some stickers on here. That'll be the last thing we do tonight is at least get these stickers started. I might do some of them off stream because they're going to be fucking annoying to do. 38 and 36. We'll do... Okay, so... Now I have Pegasus Fantasy in my head. Okay, so... This is going to go like that. So we've got these to pair with that. You can see they're now the same. So we've got to put that in there. We'll put those in first and then wrap the thing around it. So it's going to be 38 and 39. I didn't do it on the other leg because I was like, I don't want to do this. I'll just say really briefly that I am bad at the World Assassination, the Hitman Freelancer. I have completed some missions. Other times I have not completed like the full tasks all the way through. The showdowns I am not particularly great at. The like, Okay. Well, are they a smoker or not a smoker? How do I know if they're dehydrated or not? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not good about it. I don't want to say it's too hard. I just think I'm not good at it. But I have been really enjoying Hitman Freelancer because I hadn't played a lot of Hitman in a while. So it's been fun to go into maps that I feel like I know very well, but then there's some subtle changes to the maps, and I'm like, shit, I thought I knew this map. I guess I fucking don't. Okay. All right, well, we'll figure it out. It's been really fun. Also, it does reward you for just like, sometimes you just gotta shoot somebody. Like, you want to do something cool and fun, but the person is in like an area where you cannot do anything cool or fun. You just have to take them out as fast as possible and then get to an exit. Maybe you can lead them towards, you can lead them in a spot where you can kill them and then run the fuck away. But you might have to just take out a bunch of people on your way out and just get it done. Lasper says, I just did my first showdown earlier. It was like only 20 minutes, but I was hunched over my desk, tensed up. If they're dehydrated, they'll stop somewhere on the route and take a drink. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I think I wasn't like letting them do their full routes before I would move on to somebody else. And then, of course, there's also like people that get suspicious of you if you get too close. And then you go and you go and try to take somebody out, and then people get suspicious of what's going on and freak out. It's fun. The World Assassination is still very fun. That your base of operations is huge and wild. It is fucking fun. That is a cool element. They put a lot of effort into that, and I really like that. But yeah, I'm having fun kind of playing more Hitman and having a good time. I'm also enjoying watching people stream that game. It is fun to do that, to watch people kind of see what's up in the world of Assassination. Watching streamers who are very good and watching streamers who are not very good. I enjoy both of those things. So that's been pretty fun. I will say I've done definitely a lot of watching people stream that game. I am going to try to get this. Normally I would be wrapping up here, but I am going to try to get this sticker applied here. I'm going to do the other stickers off stream because you just watched me do this, and you don't need to watch me do the same exact thing of having to bend this fucking sticker all the way around here because this piece is supposed to be white, and they could have just not included these stickers, and I would have been okay with that if the vents weren't white all the way around this inside piece here. Because I just know that I'm going to do that before the next stream starts. I'll probably do it tomorrow or Saturday. But I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this all over again. This is a bad thing to do at the end of a stream. But anyway, I am now going to take my spudger and press this down, and then I will not think about these stickers again. Just going to put some pressure on here to get these to adhere right to the plastic, and then not think about them. But anyway, Hitman's real good. Also, I'm playing some Hi-Fi Rush, and I'm not good at it, but it's so fun. I'm not good at Hi-Fi Rush, y'all, but I'm having a great time with that game. It's a good time. I recommend it. I would say that if you don't, you can't play it for free or part of included, Game Pass stuff, yeah, pick it up. It's at $30. It's totally worth it. It's a really good time. You will enjoy your time with Hi-Fi Rush. If you are not much of a, like I am not much of a rhythm person, you can pick it up. It still works. It still works out. It's not Crypt of the Necrodancer, where if you're not on rhythm, you fail and you fuck up. You can get it done. You'll pick it up. You'll be good. I would say give it a shot. We finished the legs. We finished the other arm that we got done here. We're making a lot of good progress on this kit, and I will continue to make progress on this kit on Saturday when I wrap this up, and I'll start something new. That is going to do it for tonight's stream. We are going to end with a raid because that is how we end every stream. We're going to go find somebody out there on the internet doing cool shit and go and give them a little bit of love with a raid. So please stick around for that. Once again, please come back on Saturday as I finish this kit up, and then I'll start something new on Saturday. I don't know how much longer this person is streaming, but let me see. How long has... Oh, well, we just got raided. I was literally about to raid you. Papa Jared, friends, thank you so much for the raid. We're literally about to raid, and I was like, you know what? Jared, that lovely puppet, always raids me, so I should go and raid him. Poor timing. Thank you so much for the raid, my friend, if you're still hanging out here. Appreciate it. Friends, I'll chat with you a little bit before we move on, just to promote myself. I'm Pat Baer. I build model kits. I was working on this kit tonight. It was cool, but I'm wrapping up my stream. And I'm sorry that you came on a raid, and I appreciate it. Hit the follow button if you would like to see me build model kits in the future and hang out. Yeah, just bad timing. I was going to go raid you, but thank you. Thank you, Wally, for the follow. Well, you know what? Let's do this. We'll do this just for a little bit here. This is the kit that I was working on. We worked on the legs of this. This is the, Girth Brooks. Great username. Thank you, Girth Brooks. For the follow. But yeah, I build model kits and we play video games on here sometimes. This kit is the Red Rider. It is a very obscure Gundam model kit. Vasty the Red is following. Thank you, Vasty the Red. So this kit is from a video game. The Riders are like mini bosses in a Gundam video game. And they made this is the premium Bandai, which is just like you gotta like fucking sign up for a thing. It's a whole goddamn thing. Gosh darn kaiju. That was gosh darn kaiju. I just want to say, y'all got great usernames. I appreciate you very much for having stellar names here on Twitch. I just have my name because I made a decision in the 90s that all my usernames were just going to be my own name. Because I wanted to be a comedian and an actor, and I was like, I should have I didn't think I should have an online presence. I was like, I should just use my name. So I didn't get creative or cool, except for like some BBSs when I was a young man, where I was Beyond the Void or John Shadow. Those are the usernames that I used back in the day. Anyway, I worked on this kit, and it was fun. But we're going to raid. That is literally what we were about to do. But we're going to raid. So, in the same way that a good old Papa Jared was like, Pat's fun. You'll like Pat. I'm going to find someone on my here that is doing some good work that I think rules and that you will enjoy their good times. Who is doing stuff here that we want to hang out with? Hey, let's get fucking spooky. We're going to raid Adam Cole. We're going to raid professional wrestler who has been, due to injury, on the retiree list, but came back recently. He not retired, but injured list. The Chugs, Adam Cole, baby, is playing Callisto Protocol. And we're going to raid the Chugs. Like, does he need it? Does Adam Cole need our views? No. But is it fun to watch Adam Cole play a fucking horror game? And also, he's playing the Callisto Protocol instead of the Dead Space remake. And that's also funny to me. That's very funny that the Chugs is like, yo, you know what we should be playing right now? A horror game we should be playing. Let's play Callisto Protocol. So that's funny to me. Let's go raid Adam Cole. Be cool. His chat is great, so you'll enjoy it. He's awesome. And we're happy that he's going to be wrestling again soon. He's back on making appearances, and he'll be wrestling, and that's great. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you again. Thank you for friends that came in on the raid. Talk to you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, VOD watcher.